what's happening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania prisons? Like, you could just like walk out. Is that what's happening? He climbed up the wall. Do we have video of this? Because I need to see it.
New here at 5, surveillance video captures the moment a convicted murderer escapes through the roof of a Pennsylvania prison's exercise yard. There you see Danelo Cavalcante placing his hands and feet on the walls and shimmy right on up.
There ain't no way, dog. Are you serious? There ain't no way. Same thing happened in Germany a few days ago. You guys want to know something cool and fun? In Germany, it is not illegal, technically, to try and escape prison. The only thing they will add if you do end up escaping prison in Germany is like the clothes that you stole from the prison, because they believe that yearning for freedom is a human right. So they actually don't add additional charges if you successfully escape prison unless you are wearing the state's clothes on your back. So technically, if you escape prison naked, well, I guess that would be indecent exposure at a certain point. But like if you escape prison naked, it's technically not illegal.
CNN reports it's the same way another inmate briefly broke out of the Chester County prison in May. According to the warden, Cavalcante then pushed through razor wire.
Dog, how do they? This is the second time? It's the second time someone has used this trick? Why didn't they fucking do something?
Ran across a roof and scaled a fence to escape. Authorities have been searching for the 34-year-old for a week now. Last spotted Tuesday entering the woods on the east of the side of the growing search area.
Investigators say he pushed through razor wire, ran across a roof, scaled another fence, and got through more razor wire. Now on the run, he's been seen several times in the surrounding area, and police have found his footprints.
Saturday evening, we heard some very strange things in the woods. Saw some things on our cameras.
Bro, we're fucked. Like, we're just fucked. Like, it's nuts, dude. With this law enforcement, with this kind of law enforcement, bro, they haven't done a job in like years, okay? They haven't done a single job. I don't mean just like policing. They just don't do work.
Nina and Charlie Lyman live less than 2 miles from the prison on a 65-acre farm. They believe Cavalcante may have been on their property, which police have searched twice. We've been pressing law enforcement officials every step of the way on whether Danelo Cavalcante has obtained a weapon or not. The latest word we got a short time ago is so far they do not have any indication that he has obtained a weapon. Now, as for whether he has left any traces of himself behind anywhere like food, clothing, or anything else like that, Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens of the Pennsylvania State Police told me so far they have found no physical traces of this man. But things are very fluid tonight.
Brother, let's keep it a $150. Cops are so fucking bad at their jobs in general. Good luck. The people of Pennsylvania are on their own, pretty much.
Bryce, the escaped killer in Pennsylvania, was able to break out even after more razor wire had been added in the same area where a different inmate had briefly escaped just a few months ago. And in this case, the tower guard failed to see him crab walk the wall. And in D.C., the suspected killer there was able to get away because he was not handcuffed to a hospital gurney because they were swapping out the cuffs. Are these cases of negligence by law enforcement?
We have the most expensive prison industrial complex on the planet. One of the only countries on the planet where prisons are fucking for profit. We have the absolute most expensive paramilitary police force. Okay. That one is like across the board, both in totality and per capita. And like, motherfuckers are still escaping. This is the one area where like the draconian measures that are implemented are supposed to work. This ain't no Norwegian prison, dog, where the doors are unlocked and you can just like walk out. It's America, goddammit. How in the ever-loving fuck is this something you could do? It's like losing out on this situation is like if America went band for band on an obesity competition and like lost to another country. There's a couple things that we're number one at: prisons, policing, and obesity. Like if we went band for band with like fucking France and lost in the heart disease competition, I'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Pick up the fucking slack.
Now, police at this point are not saying if they believe Cavalcante has gotten any outside help, if they believe any of those inmates assisted in his escape. We did ask, we saw people in the video, if they were possibly trying to distract the guards. They say that's all part of the investigation. They do tell us that in their searches, they have found items along the way in their search perimeter, but yet they can't tell us if those items belong to Cavalcante or not. The main thing here for people in Pennsylvania Pillsbury Township, where that search perimeter exists right now. If you see anyone suspicious, call police right away.
Yeah, call the cops right away so they can also not do their jobs. As that one dude said, call a crackhead. Bro, crackheads would have cracked this case. That tower guard just got fired. No, that's crazy. No.
Breaking news from Pennsylvania, and it's not great. Police say escaped prisoner Danelo Cavalcante, a convicted killer, already dangerous, is now armed and dangerous. He's got a rifle. He was spotted early this morning in a place called South Coventry Township, that's in Chester County. And before that, he was seen in a neighborhood, Glenmore, nearly 9 miles away. How he got from point A to point B, they're not sure. People are being told, lock your doors, lock your cars, and be on alert.
The development came after numerous residents reported shots were fired earlier in the area. According to police, a resident reported a rifle was stolen during a confrontation with Cavalcante in their home. It's unclear who fired the shots or if the suspect was struck. According to sources, police also found a green shirt and shoes similar to what he was last wearing in recent surveillance footage. Now police are combing through the area.
It's great because it's like, this is why it's great that we have the Second Amendment, so that you can just lose your gun to a guy who's murdered before and will do it again. And before you say like, oh, Hasan, like, what are you talking about? This is why we need the Second Amendment so we can defend ourselves. Like, yeah, you know how like there are guns in the hands of the criminals, right? Like we always talk about like bad guy with a gun. The only way to stop it is a good guy with a gun. The only way a bad guy with a gun gets a gun is oftentimes by getting it directly from the good guy with a gun. Like, this is precisely the reason why. Like, every fucking house is a gun cache in America. Like, it's a goddamn Fallout shelter, or it's like a fucking RPG. You walk into any fucking house, you got a loot box right there. And most of those motherfuckers have no expertise, and most of those motherfuckers don't know how to use it and will not use it, thank God, on anybody.
If it's still like this in a couple of days, I know people around here aren't going to sit by and let it be like that. They might start going out and walking around on their own and try to.
Yeah, which, by the way, predictably they have. Here's the other aspect of having America be this like weird fucking. Pennsylvania residents are loading up their assault rifles and patrolling the area where the escaped illegal alien was seen. $20,000 reward announced. This person says the Vermont is dead, but the spirit of bloodthirsty meth heads with God complexes lives on through the degenerate sadists of the American petite bourgeoisie. Perfect fucking tweet.
Look at this. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about, people. There is are you out here? Do you normally put these on here?
Only when dudes are running around with 20 grand price tags.
Like, this guy is a fucking, oh my God, he's got a plate carrier and he has his fucking 2 daughters in the back of his Jeep. Like, this is so stupid.
You're looking for the 20 grand. God bless you. Be safe.
All right, now let's get to the escaped Pennsylvania killer. The manhunt is over. Let's take a look.
Again, I think we were to some degree surprised over the course of the last 2 weeks that it had taken this long, even though the search area seemed to be not 10 states wide. You never really were, though. Why not?
Because if you look at the stats, most people who break out of prison are literally arrested within 24 hours, and most of them walking on the road away from the prison. This was a person who had a plan. This was a person who had the intestinal fortitude to undergo many challenges while on the run. His mother told us about a lot of that. But
these are, John, sorry to interrupt. These are live pictures. This is the first we are all seeing of Danelo Cavalcante. He is in custody. John, walk us through what you see here.
Motherfucker wearing an Eagles hoodie. Go Birds!
Probably the people who took him into custody. And I see a guy who has a change of clothes that we're not familiar with, which is a new sweatshirt and a dark pair of pants.
Bro.
There were reports that...
Bro, him wearing the Eagles sweatshirt is perfect camouflage. His main problem, I think, as a Brazilian, he didn't realize that all he needed to do was eat horse manure. And then everyone would have thought he is an authentic Eagles fan and would have been like, oh, this isn't our guy. If he only knew that all he had to do, the only thing standing between him and permanent freedom was just like dabbling a little bit on the ground and trying to immediately eat horse manure in front of the cops, he would have been able to get away with it. Eagles hoodie, on the other hand, is a perfect camouflage for trying to evade law enforcement, especially because every Eagles fan is pretty much psychotic. So even if you're behaving in a suspicious manner, cops will go, oh, that's just the Eagles fan.
That a backpack was found overnight that had things in it, clothing items and so on, that may have been his. Is that possibly what spurred them into a certain area? But he has been doing these kind of home invasions and burglaries and garage, siftings, trying to find different outfits to keep changing his appearance. And, our last reporting was he was shirtless. So he clearly has had these stashes while he's hiding out. But you can tell even as he's walking, he's a guy who's worn down from this flight.
The fact that he is caught, the fact that from what I gather, nobody injured, it's fantastic. And to have taken him into custody is just, there's a lot of emotions. And as I saw all the different vehicles kind of rushing out of the scene, trying to head to wherever they're going, they're all.
The only reason why no murders happen is not because of the cops. And make no mistake, this guy is a murderer. The only reason why no murders happen is because he chose not to murder. If he chose to murder in this fucking 14-day run, he could have had a way better KDA, okay? Like a way better KDA. The idea that this is a celebration for law enforcement is so insane. He broke in the motherfuckers' houses like while they were sleeping left and right, dude. It's like law enforcement only gets to feel this way when they run over a pedestrian at a fucking red light that they're blazing through without their sirens on. You know what I mean? As they're drunk driving. The only way they can replicate this high is by beating the shit out of their partners. This is one of the few instances where, like, I admit, if law enforcement is operating to a T and doing the fucking job and doing it expeditiously, then yeah, it's a very tough job. This is the one instance where they literally are supposed to be like a somewhat brutal force who reacts fast, swiftly, gets into action. No fuck ups. Still took him 2 goddamn weeks, bro. Best ever question at the press conference after his arrest.
Sir, is there any concern that he would team up with another small man to step inside of a trench coat, Little Rascal style?
No.
What?
Sir, is there any concern that he would team up with another small man to step inside of a trench coat, Little Rascal style?
Was there ever any concern that he would team up with another small man and hop into a trench coat, Little Rascal style? Is the question that somebody fucking asked.
No.
Look at the police press briefing after they caught him. I mean, they get to flex because this is their moment.
One of the Customs and Border Control teams, BORTAC, had a dog with them. They released the dog.
BORTAC is the SWAT team for ICE. They are the ones that operate outside of any kind of legal scrutiny, and they are able to operate. They were the ones who did the van kidnappings at Portland during the Trump administration. They are allowed to operate within 100 mile of any border or part of the sea, which means they are able to operate pretty much in every part of the country where people live. Any coast or direct physical border, 100 miles in is BORTAC Constitution free zones. That's what the ACLU calls it.
The scope of this manhunt was extremely impressive. The brave men and women who went out there every single day are our heroes, and I am proud to be a part of this.
2 weeks. That's all I'm gonna say. 2 weeks. If only we could figure out how he escaped to begin with. I don't know if it was on camera or something, so we could assign the blame. Well, can't really do anything. He was a Brazilian wood elf. You know what I mean? He had magical powers that allowed him to just pee-pee poof away from prison. So many people are saying they should have killed him. Yeah, that's not how that works. The restraint that they showed was actually good. I will admit that. The fact that they didn't actually murk this dude was very good, especially because he was armed. He was known to be armed. He's a murderer. The fact that they were able to restrain him and detain him without actually murking him is a good thing. That is what you're supposed to do. They're doing the fucking job. They're doing the goddamn job, okay? This is probably one of the best gaming streams that we've ever conducted. Mom, I'm gaming with T-Pain.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, that was amazing.
Bitch!
Oh, wait, what is that? I pulled out a bunch of knives.
No! It's the Oppie way!
My whole life, I've been told if I can shoot and move. My whole life, I've been told shoot and move. And now you're telling me, don't move. I need to explore the heroes.
I'm not gonna lie, you don't need to do this. You right now you're in the sweet spot where you're like, oh, this game is fun. Like, I'm killing people. I'm confused as to what's going on. And then it's so much darkness.
Reloading.
Rocket coming! Wait, did the just teleport away?
What in the f was that? What was that?
This is fun. I like this. I like this gameplay.